Greetings and welcome to lecture number 3 on unit number 4, fluid dynamics. This lecture we are going to discuss the most important theorem of fluid mechanics, that is Bernoulli's equation and its modified version. Previous lecture we have discussed the Euler's equation of motion, that is in differential form. If we integrate Euler's equation of motion, then the resulting form of equation that is called as a Bernoulli's equation. So only in 2-3 steps, the Bernoulli's equation can be derived based on the Euler's equation. But Bernoulli's equation can also be called as law of conservation of energy, because whenever the energy is possessed, when the fluid is flowing, it possesses mostly the 3 types of energies: pressure energy, kinetic energy, and potential energy. So the Bernoulli's equation gives the conservation of these energy. So all these energies changes its form from one form into another form. So it's a very important theorem, and there are various engineering applications for this particular theorem, as well as some real-world applications are also there. So Bernoulli's equation is obtained by integrating Euler's equation of motion. So we have a Euler's equation of motion, that is dabba p by rho plus g dabba z plus v dabba v, that is equal to 0. If we integrate this equation, that is equal to constant. So now, while deriving Bernoulli's equation, we consider that the fluid is incompressible. So rho we can take out of integration. So if we integrate this, integration of dabba p is p, integration of dabba z is z, and integration of v is v square by 2. So after integrating, we get this form, that is p by rho plus g z plus v square by 2, that is equal to constant. Or if we divide both sides by g, then it takes this particular form, that is p by rho g plus z plus v square by twice g is equal to constant. So this form, rho g is also called as a specific weight, gamma. So p by gamma plus z plus v square by twice g is equal to constant. So this is equation of Bernoulli's equation. And the terms involved in Bernoulli's equation, in other words, if it is applied for 2 points in the fluid, then as this is a constant, at one point with suffix 1, that is p1 by gamma plus z1 plus v1 square by twice g, that is equal to p2 by gamma plus z2 plus v2 square by twice g. So the above equation is known as Bernoulli's equation. Now, if we see the terms, that is this particular equation, that is per unit volume, that is pressure unit divided by density. And this equation is called as a per unit weight. If you compare the unit here, that's unit of Z is meter. So obviously, as the addition of all the components, this unit has to be, units of these parameters have to be meter as well. So even if you calculate, you'll get this is in meter. This is P by gamma is also called as a static here. Now, we can say terminologies or different terms in Bernoulli's equation. Very essential that you must understand the terms associated with Bernoulli's equation. So the first term, that is called as a P by gamma. It is because these are the energy terms. Because after deriving, we can say these are the energies. This is pressure energy, this is potential energy, and this is kinetic energy. So P by gamma is a pressure energy per unit weight, because the energy weight is Newton. It's a Newton meter energies. But if we calculate the units of this parameter, it becomes meter. So it becomes meter only when if we divide this by Newton, that is weight of the fluid element. So weight of the fluid element, that's why its unit is Newton meter divided by Newton, that is meter. So that's why this term is called as a pressure energy per unit weight. So all the quantities are per unit weight. This particular expression is in the form of per unit volume. So if we divide the both side by G, then it is per unit weight as well. So pressure energy per unit weight, it is also called as a pressure head that we already studied in fluid statics during the pressure measurement lecture. So this is called as pressure head. This is also called as static head. Secondly, the second term is called as velocity head, or it is called as a kinetic energy per unit weight. This is also a form of energy, or kinetic head, or we can say a dynamic head as well. So Z is called as a potential energy per unit weight, because if you multiply this by weight, that is mg, so mgz is the potential energy. So this is potential energy per unit weight or potential head. Addition of uh, P by gamma plus Z, that is also called as a piezometric head. So generally for horizontal piping, piezometric head is equal to static head or pressure head. But for incline or vertical pipe, this piezometric head is present. So that is static head plus the potential head. Then addition of all these three, that is called as a total head, or we can say that total energy per unit weight. This is the total energy remains constant, we can say. And addition of only P plus P by gamma plus V square by twice G, that is called as a stagnation head. Or we can say P plus, if you consider these two, and if you multiply both this side by gamma, so this is P, this is gamma Z, then this is gamma means rho G, so G get cancelled, that is rho V square by 2, rho V square. So this head is called as a stagnation pressure, it is or the total pressure. So already we have learned total pressure concept in statics, but in statics we call the total force exerted by fluid on the surface, that is called the total pressure. So that is a force quantity. Here the total pressure is actual pressure. It is the addition of static head plus or static pressure plus dynamic pressure. So this term is called as the dynamic pressure. So there are different terms associated with this Bernoulli's equation. So you must understand these terminologies while solving problem. It helps, and even uh, while discussing the application of Bernoulli's equation, these terminologies are very much. So P plus rho V square by 2. So this is static pressure plus dynamic pressure, or it is also called as the total pressure. The entire other term is not called as a total pressure. So generally it is added, this term is called as a total pressure. Only the entire term is called as a total head. So don't get confused with total head. This is not called as stagnation head. So if only these two terms are, that is pressure head and velocity head, that is in head form, then it is called as a stagnation head. So stagnation, this is pressure because these are the pressure quantities. That's why it is called as a pressure. If addition of P by gamma plus V square by twice G, then it is called as a pressure head because this is the addition of two heads. Sorry, stagnation head. So stagnation head, but it is not called as a total head in that case. Total head is this much. So these are some terminologies associated with Bernoulli's equation. So from this particular equation, the Bernoulli's equation can be, or the statement can be framed. So it states that for an ideal, because while deriving the Bernoulli's equation, it is derived from Euler's equation, and Euler's equation is applicable for ideal flow. So that's why it is called as ideal. Incompressible because of, during integration we have considered that rho is constant, so it is also called as incompressible. Irrotational, that is irrotational means no rotational component because flow is taking place along streamline. While discussing the Euler's equation, we have discussed that is flow is along streamline, means there is no lateral component or no cross flow across the streamline. So there is no rotation takes place. So that's why it is called as an irrotational flow. So these are the ideal incompressible irrotational flow. Through a closed conduit, the total energy or head remains constant along streamline. So this is a statement of Bernoulli's equation. So that statement is derived from the equation as well, because the total head remains constant. But under which circumstances that total head remains constant? If the fluid is ideal, if the fluid is incompressible, if the fluid is irrotational, and it can be applicable for free flow also, when if it is not affected by uh, uh, if it is not affected by viscosity. So not necessary is through the closed conduit. Along streamline is must. So if the flow is taking place along streamline, then the total head or the total energy remains constant. This is a bookish definition that through a closed conduit. So through a closed conduit is means the question arises, means Bernoulli's equation is whether it is only applicable for internal flow. No, Bernoulli's equation can also be applicable for external flow beyond the boundary layer. So the exact definition, it states that for an ideal incompressible irrotational flow along streamline, the total energy or head remains constant. So this is a Bernoulli's equation statement. Uh, this is also called as a law of conservation of energy, because it uh, generally monitor the conservation of energy or changing of one form into another form. So, for example, if pressure energy increases, it is always at the cost of kinetic energy or potential energy, or vice versa. That's why it is called as a law of conservation of energy. So it is based on some assumptions. So already we have discussed that fluid is ideal, fluid is steady. We have considered that is during Euler's expression. Flow is incompressible and flow is irrotational. So these are the assumptions on which Bernoulli's equation is based. So Bernoulli equation is based on highly uh, idealistic situation. For real fluid, some corrections or some modifications are required. So as far as the real fluid is concerned, the modified Bernoulli's equation, it is derived based on the assumption that the fluid is non-viscous and therefore frictionless. But for real fluid, there is some friction takes place, and that friction is taken into account by this term, that is a frictional head, that is HL. So where HL is the head loss between two sections, and which may be due to friction or may be due to change in velocity. Like this, suppose if the fluid is flowing through this closed conduit, and this is the taper fluid. So here, because of the fluid friction also, there are some losses occurred. The friction between fluid particles, friction between fluid and the pipe wall. So friction losses are there. And as there is a continuously changing the velocity, so due to change in velocity also, there are some losses. So that HL, it takes into account the losses. So that is addition, because we can say this is a total energy available at inlet point, basically where the flow. So flow always takes place from one towards two. So the interpretation is that this is a total energy. That is, this total energy means addition of pressure energy, potential energy, because it has some elevation Z1. It has some initial velocity as well. So whisker. So all three energy it possesses. When it flows through this particular taper line, its pressure energy gradually decreases, and the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy because the velocity increases. So that is at the cost of pressure energy. But at the same time, some losses are also there. So that losses are incorporated on the right hand side. That means the head available at outlet is always less than the head available at inlet. And that difference is nothing but the difference is equal to H. So this is the head loss, which may be because of friction or maybe because of change in velocity. So this is a modified Bernoulli's equation. So most of the numerical or most of the real life situation, the real fluid is exist. Ideal fluid doesn't exist, but still under certain situations, the water flow is considered as ideal flow because it is a very low viscosity. So up to certain level, we can use water, but still there are losses need to be considered if the pipeline exceeds 1 meter, or if there are bends or there is a sudden change in velocity, then we cannot neglect the losses. So this is a modified version of Bernoulli's equation. So Bernoulli's equation and modified Bernoulli's equation, they are extensively used for solving numericals. They have a different engineering applications, but some real world applications or some real world facts also depends on the Bernoulli's equation. Suppose you can realize here that if we pass the air from this between the two balloon, and the cross section is very narrow, so obviously the velocity here is increased, pressure here is decreased as compared to the atmospheric pressure, and because of that the two balloons attracted towards each other. So this is a simple Bernoulli's equation based on Bernoulli's equation. If the velocity increases, then the pressure decreases, so it decreases less than atmosphere, so the balloons are attracted towards each other. Same thing here. If we are passing the jet of water through this particular ball, okay, so the ball is actually here the velocity is high, so the ball is attracted towards the jet. See, the ball is attracted towards the same principle here. Because of this high velocity jet, the pressure is low here, so the ball is attracted towards this particular jet, and it remains in jet. See how it attracts toward the jet. That is the Bernoulli's equation. The beauty of Bernoulli's equation. Here again, you can see if we pass the air from the top surface, so the top surface pressure is decreased. So obviously it is lifted up because of the decreasing pressure, because bottom pressure is more than top pressure. So that piece of paper or that A4 size paper, it is lifted up because of the air passing through that particular. That is the Bernoulli's equation. Okay, flying of birds or flying of aeroplane, they all based on the Bernoulli's equation. And because of the pressure difference, the same concept is there. Because of the pressure difference, the bird can fly and bird can take a lift from the ground level. So the natural occurrences also, some of the natural occurrences are because of the Bernoulli's equation. Spinning of the ball, you can see this is the spinning of the ball. It is again depending upon the Bernoulli's equation. So there we hit. So because of the pressure difference between two sides of the ball spins, whether it is football or whether it is cricket ball. So everywhere the spinning is also due to the Bernoulli's equation, due to pressure difference between the two surfaces or two hulls of the spherical ball, the ball spins. So these are some real world applications of Bernoulli's equation. In coming lecture, we will see how this Bernoulli's equation is applied for engineering applications as well, both internal and external. As far as this topic is concerned, we apply the Bernoulli equation only for internal flow, and how the changes in energy takes place, and what is the effect of these changes, how these energies are represented on some graphical, that is line of hydraulic gradient line and the so that's it from this particular lecture. At the end of this particular session, you should be able to deduce Bernoulli's equation from Euler's equation of motion, because Bernoulli's equation can be derived from the first principle, that is law of conservation of energy. It is also called as law of conservation of energy because it changes its energy from one form into another form. But the energy is restricted, only three types of energy it restricts, that is pressure energy, kinetic energy, and potential energy. So from that, the Bernoulli's equation uh, the is derived, and you should be able to express on which circumstances Bernoulli's equation is applicable, that is assumptions based on the Bernoulli's equation. You should be able to write a modified Bernoulli's equation, which takes into account the losses encountered in the course of flow. So that losses may be because of friction, maybe because of change in velocity. So that's it from this particular session. And next session, we'll discuss a few of the numericals based on the application of the Bernoulli equation. Thank you very much.